Hello wrestling fans, this is Josh from thesteelcage.com and the Steel Cage Podcast. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere else you may want to subscribe to podcasts. NXT's next quarterly special, our Revolution is a mystery! That one's for Adam. It takes place this week, whatever it's actually called. Takeover, the next one, I guess. November 11th from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. We don't know the full card yet, as we've been accustomed to with the recent shows that NXT has put on. But let's talk about what we do know. First of all, we do know that Kevin Owens, previously known as Kevin Steen, will be making his debut. Now, whether that's just a debut to say, hey, what's up, I'm Kevin Owens, and I'm going to kill everyone, or if he's going to actually have some in-ring action is to be determined. We'll see what happens. All I gotta say is I'd be super excited if he's allowed to package Piledriver and do all the cool stuff that he's known for doing. With the WWE's stance on Piledrivers, though, and considering the fact that he's not one of the guys grandfathered in, like Kane, Undertaker, for example, I severely doubt we'll actually see it. I think the last time we saw it from one of the guys who wasn't one of those two was CM Punk, and I'm pretty sure he got in trouble for it. Moving on to the actual matches, we have Finn Balor and Hideo Itami versus The Ascension. Now, at the last NXT Takeover special event, or whatever it is we're calling these things, we actually got to see Hideo Itami appear. You know, he debuted initially as Kenta, but quickly, introduced us to his new name. In the time since then, he's been going around kicking the Ascension in the head, and occasionally getting kicked in the head himself. However, the last few weeks, we got to see Finn Balor come through. He's got his back. The two of them, spending time over in Japan, New Japan, and Pro Wrestling Noah, representing the Bullet Club here. While Itami may have been able to stave off the Ascension a few times on his own, ultimately he did need some backup, and I'm glad that the man once known as Prince Devitt is there to do it with him. Frankly, I think the Ascension deserves a solid kick in the face, and these guys are the ones to do it. I mean, I gotta say, I used to like the Ascension. I still think that there's a lot of potential there. They're very Legion of Doom-esque brawling style of sorts. They've got some decent tag maneuvers, is kind of what I'm alluding to there. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of the Ascension in NXT. I think that they may have hit their peak. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for them to move on to the main roster. I don't know. I'm not sure what the best way to go about that would be. For that reason, among others, I do think that they end up putting over our foreign heroes. I do think that Hideo Itami and Finn Balor will dropkick their way to victory. Moving on to the NXT Tag Team Championship, we see the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara versus the Vaudevillains, a team made up of Aiden English and Simon Gotch. As Kalisto and Sin Cara make me wonder whether I'm watching the WWE Network or the El Rey Network. Shout out to Lucha Underground. I have to admit, they're fun to watch. Meanwhile, the Vaudevillains, really embracing the villain aspect of their gimmick, they really seem to be coming together. In fact, I think Simon Gotch lives his gimmick. I mean, just look at the guy. He's got a sweet mustache. That all said, I don't think it's quite time for the Vaudevillains to shine in this match. I think it'll be a fun one between these four. They're very capable wrestlers. But I do think that the Lucha Dragons retain. Next on the agenda, we have the NXT Women's Championship, where we see Charlotte defending against Sasha Banks. The general consensus among many is that both of these women seem as though they're ready for the main roster. In my opinion, though, I think they need to clean house a little bit on the main roster, trim some of the fat, so to speak. Certain women on the roster, Layla, Cameron, just a couple of examples, I don't know. To make some room if they're going to bring up ladies like Charlotte and Sasha Banks. So I don't see that happening right away. I do think that they're going to be in NXT for a little bit longer. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this match, and not in a pervy Jerry the King Lawler type of way. There should be a lot of good action, and I think Sasha Banks legitimately has a good shot of winning this match. My prediction, officially, I do think Sasha Banks wins. I think she gets an assist from her friend Becky Lynch, and on Thursday night, the boss scores a little bit extra bling. That brings us to the NXT Championship, where we see Adrian Neville defending against Sami Zayn. Oh, Sami Zayn. Sammy. As Adrian Neville and others, quite frankly, have said, he just can't get the big one. At least that's the storyline going into this match. I have to say they've told this story very well in the last couple of months. To be honest, in trying to predict this match, I have a lot of problems trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen. And why is that? Well, I think it's time for Sami to graduate, essentially, from NXT. He's definitely a guy that's ready for the main roster. I think he has been for a while, quite frankly, so his time is due. Very, very talented guy. Superb mic skills. He's got a lot of potential if creative and he can come up with something. And I also really think he deserves to win this one. He's proven himself. He really deserves to win the NXT Championship at least once before he does move on. I don't know. It's really hard. Notice, by the way, all of my discussion revolves around Sami Zayn. No offense to Adrian Neville. Very talented wrestler as well. I don't know. I like Sami Zayn, so I'm going to talk about him. Anyways, this match is going to deliver. These guys will deliver. Sami Zayn wins. Why not? Well, that about does it. Thank you again for watching. Leave us some feedback. Drop a comment below and tell us who you think will win each of these matches. As I mentioned before, we do have a podcast. Make sure to check us out if you have not listened to us before. Also, follow us on Twitter. We're at The Steel Cage. We'll be live tweeting NXT this Thursday, and for that matter, we'll be live tweeting TLC and S. Tables, ladders, and chairs, and stairs. That's right, and S. We'll be live tweeting that as well. We're always there on Monday nights, tweeting along with the live East Coast broadcast. Even though we are here in Arizona, we do get the East Coast broadcast via satellite dish. Alright, that's it. I'm out of here. Too sweet me, bro.